For decades, there was much speculations about how Patrice Lumumba, the first Prime Minister of the newly independent Democratic Republic of the Congo, died, as well as who killed him and why. The short answer, however, is that Patrice Lumumba was killed on January 17, 1961. He was executed by firing squad. However, how he came to be in that position necessitated a more in-depth discussion that takes into account the political climate in Congo as well as the state of international relations at the time. So, let's explain what happened to Lumumba in full detail. Please stay tuned. Welcome to History Media In-Depth History. Patrice Lumumba was born on the 2nd of July 1925 to the family of Francois Tolenga Oteshima in the Katakombe region of Kasai province of the Belgian Congo. He was a member of the Titela ethnic group and was born with the name Elias Okit Asombo. Raised in a Catholic family, he was educated at a Protestant primary school, a Catholic missionary school, and finally the government post office training school, where he passed the one-year course with distinction. He was known for being a vocal and highly intelligent young man. This outspoken nature would come to define his life and career. After a study tour in Belgium in 1956, he was arrested on charges of embezzlement of $2,500 from the post office. He was convicted and sentenced 1 year later to 12 months imprisonment and a fine. After his release, Lumumba helped to form the Congolese National Movement Party on October 5, 1958, and quickly became the leader of the organization. The party promoted the call for independence, the gradual Africanization of the government, a state-led economic development, and neutrality in foreign affairs. Do you know that the greatest thing you can do for us is to like this video? Kindly hit the like button now, and if you enjoy our informative content, please subscribe and ring the bell notification. Thank you. In late October 1959, Lumumba, as leader of the MNC, was arrested for inciting an anti-colonial riot in which about 30 people were killed in Stanleyville. He was sentenced to 6 months in prison. However, due to intense pressure from delegates upset by Lumumba's trial, he was released and allowed to attend the Brussels Conference in January 1960. The conference ended on January 27, 1960 with a declaration of Congolese independence and set 30th of June 1960 as the independence date, with national elections to be held from 11th to 25th of May 1960. The MNC would go on to win a plurality in the election. After so much debate and opposition, Lumumba's government was invested on the 24th of June 1960, and Independence Day was celebrated on the 30th of June 1960 in a ceremony that was well attended by dignitaries. The year 1960 was indeed an eventful year for Congo. The transition from a Belgian colony to an independent country occurred in the context of the larger decolonization movement in Africa. It also happened during a period when the international political climate was dominated by the Cold War between the United States and the Soviet Union and their respective allies. Lumumba, an important figure in Congo's independence struggle who advocated for a strong centralized government, was prime minister in a fragile and compromised government led by Joseph Kasavubu, who advocated for a less centralized approach with greater autonomy for Congo's provinces. Almost immediately after independence, the new government faced an army mutiny, which was quickly followed by the secession of Katanga, a strategically important mineral-rich province led by Moise Tshombe, another Congolese leader who disagreed with Lumumba's policies. Belgium sent troops ostensibly to protect Belgian nationals in Congo during the unrest, but the Belgian troops primarily landed in Katanga, where they supported Tshombe's secessionist regime while also gaining access to the country's mineral resources. The government requested assistance from the United Nations, and while peacekeeping troops were sent to Congo, they did not intervene in Katanga. Lumumba then requested assistance from the Soviet Union. which provided technical advisors to Lumumba's government. The United States and its allies were alarmed by the Soviet intervention. Kasavubu removed Lumumba from the prime minister's position on September 5th, but Lumumba challenged it and declared Kasavubu deposed, resulting in two parallel governments for a time. This prompted a military intervention on September 14, led by Congolese Colonel Joseph Mobutu, later known as Mobutu Sese Seko, who backed Kasavubu's effort to keep Lumumba out of the picture. Lumumba was placed on house arrest, but he escaped and attempted to travel to another part of the country where he had more support. However, he was captured by Mobutu's forces in early December and detained at a military camp in Thiesville. Lumumba's enemies feared that the camp was not effectively secure to hold him and ordered that he should be relocated. On January 17, 1961, Lumumba and two other of his associates, Joseph Okito and Maurice Mpolo, were flown by plane to Katanga, the political stronghold of his adversaries, Shombe. During the flight, he and his companions were beaten by soldiers. They were taken to a private villa in Katanga, where they were beaten by both Belgian and Congolese forces and met with Shombe and other Katangan officials. Lumumba and his associates were then executed by a Katangan firing squad in the presence of Katangan and Belgian officials and officers and under Belgian supervision. This happened on the 17th of January 1961. After that, the bodies were thrown into shallow graves. Later on, a Katangan government official ordered that the bodies be removed. At that point, a Belgian police officer led a group that dug up the bodies, hacked them into pieces, and dissolved as many body parts as they could in sulphuric acid. Whatever was left was set on fire. Although there were reports of Lumumba's death shortly after it occurred, but no official statement was given for nearly a month. On February 13, the Katangan government announced his death, claiming that Lumumba had escaped from their custody and had been found and killed by angry villagers. This version of events was challenged almost immediately, sparking protests around the world, and questions about the circumstances surrounding his death persisted for decades. Over the years, investigations conducted by the United Nations, Belgium and the United States, as well as carefully researched books, have shed light on the events surrounding Lumumba's death, particularly the role played by those two countries, in particular Belgium. Both countries saw Lumumba as a political threat and had plans in place to assassinate him, though those plans were never carried out. Both countries were aware of the risk to Lumumba if he was moved to the secessionist Katanga province, and both were aware that it was happening, but they did not intervene or raise any alarm. And both countries supported Congolese parties seeking to eliminate Lumumba. In 2002, Belgium formally apologized for its role in the execution, and in 2022, a gold cap tooth, all that remained of his body, was repatriated to the Democratic Republic of the Congo by Belgium. This was how the Congolese independence hero and the first Prime Minister, Patrice Lumumba, was executed. Watch this video here next for more information on how Togolese President Sylvanus Epiphaniou Olympio was assassinated in a coup in 1963. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Hispel Media. And I will see you in the next one. Thank you very much for watching. Peace.